It may look wacky, it may look funny, but these behaviors didn't evolve to be wacky and funny. They evolved through sexual selection by female choice to be precise, choreographed things that these males do time and time again, day after day, throughout their whole lives, specifically to be attractive to females during courtship.
Which birds of paradise dance?
At some level, you could say all of them do something that could be interpreted as a dance. But if you just hold up a pose and stand there static, while there could be the static holding dance, I typically think of that not as a dance, but as just a pose. And that dance is when there's more motion involved or intricate steps. Parodias are good examples of dance. Not probably coincidental that they're also the ones that dance on the ground like they're on a dance floor. They look a little bit more like the way humans dance. When you see something like a greater bird of paradise or one of the other paradisias bouncing around up and down a branch and turning and pivoting and putting its head down and letting its cascade of feathers fall over its back, I mean, that's clearly a dance. And then even something like the Wilsons or Magnificent Bird of Paradise, where they're just doing most of their displays on a small little sapling, and there's not a lot of lateral motion, there's just movement up and down the branch, but there are parts of it that are definitely more dance-like and less just presentation than others, especially right before actual mating, where there's a little bit of motion this way, motion that way, motion this way, motion that way. Small series of things that happen. I would call that a pre-mating dance, even in that species. One thing that a lot of people don't realize about birds of paradise is that they're not born doing those courtship displays exactly the way that we see them and admire them as adults. For the first few years of their life, they probably don't do anything that looks like a courtship display at all. And then at some point in time, the young males, they start going through transitions in their bodies and their behaviors where they start doing rudimentary versions of it. They're hardwired from their genes, through their DNA, to start doing courtship displays. But yet, they don't have the feathers yet, and they only do rudimentary versions of them. But they begin to essentially practice them. And they practice them